Happy Friday to everybody out there. Welcome back to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. In today's video, we will be covering our storm system that will be producing heavier rain across the eastern United States as a big, powerful storm moves up the East Coast, and looking ahead to your Christmas weather forecast in today's video. First up here is your past 48-hour snowfall accumulation in inches, and you did notice that we did have some heavy snow across the front range here of the Rockies, southern Colorado into northern New Mexico. Some of that snow did spread eastward into western Kansas, the Oklahoma, and the northwestern Texas panhandle, and several inches of snowfall did come down there. Places into northern New Mexico saw over 12 inches worth of snow over the past 48 hours. Looking at our current weather conditions as of this morning, that weather system is now into the southern plains as we see the rainfall here from near the Kansas City region, down through Tulsa, the Oklahoma City area, and then down toward the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex as we go through this morning. And if you do like detailed weather breakdowns on North America, this is the channel for you. Make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. I would love to hit 75,000 subscribers by the end of January 31st of 2024. And you can help me get there by subscribing to the channel. Also, be sure to press the like button down below. It helps out more than you know. So our storm system we're keeping an eye on for today, you can see this is the 500 millibar vorticity signature, and the brighter the color, the more spin there is in the mid-levels of the atmosphere, and you can see that spin across Kansas and Oklahoma and even parts of North Texas today. That's where our low pressure system will be, and then as we go into Saturday, that will be pressing off to the east-northeast as a new low pressure system will develop across the upper Midwest, bringing some steady, moderate rainfall across the Missouri Valley and into the Illinois Valley on Saturday. More heavy rain down to the south as well. So let's take a look at that here today. We do have some showers. A few isolated thunderstorms are possible here with this, but most of this will be, just rain and not really too much in the way of thunderstorm activity. This will be extending from Kansas down into Oklahoma and into Texas today. Tonight, this will be pressing further to the east into Louisiana, Arkansas, and Missouri, but our new low pressure system will develop up here toward the Missouri Valley. That will be bringing a steady light to moderate rain shield across northern Wisconsin, Minnesota, back into Iowa and Nebraska. A little bit of a snow band up there to the north as well into central and northern Minnesota, back into the eastern Dakotas. Not much snow will probably come from that. Most of that will be a rain-snow mix. And then as we go into Saturday, we're keeping an eye on some steadier rains across the Midwest there and into the Illinois Valley, places like Chicago, Peoria, Illinois, back toward Des Moines, seeing some steadier rainfall. Good day to stay inside and watch a movie there on Saturday up across that region. Overall, our rainfall accumulation in inches now through Saturday night on the 16th of December. Decent rains back here across North Texas, Oklahoma, and then stretching east from there into Louisiana and southern Mississippi near the Gulf Coast there. We could be seeing an additional 1 to 2 inches worth of rainfall. Some of that will extend into Florida as well. So lots of Florida will be seeing that rainfall through Saturday night. Some rainfall to the north, like we mentioned, across the Midwest and into the Illinois Valley and the upper Midwest region, seeing possibly a quarter to half an inch of rain all told across those regions. Not that big of a deal, but some decent rains for the north as well. Our major storm system we are keeping an eye on is late this weekend on Sunday. This is December 17th, and look at this, folks, a 982 millibar low there off the southeast coast of the Carolinas on Sunday, and that will move its way northward along the east coast and in toward eastern Canada on Monday and Monday night as a 975 millibar low. This is a pretty strong low pressure system that will be developing later this weekend. You can see on Sunday here during the day, we got a 988 millibar low there. Very heavy rain shield on the northern side and the eastern side of this system. Very heavy rains there for coastal Georgia into South Carolina and North Carolina there on Sunday. Very strong winds as well. Notice the tight isobars here. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw some 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts with this. So some wind-driven rain across the Carolinas on Sunday. Moving Sunday night, we can see the storms moving to the north, a 979 millibar low here. Strong thunderstorms across portions of the western Atlantic basin away from land, possibly some water spouts out here. Wouldn't be surprised to see that, but very heavy rain for the I-95 corridor, especially for Maryland, the Baltimore region, up through Philadelphia there and into New Jersey. Some very heavy rainfall Sunday night and very strong winds on the northern side of the system. Then as we go into Monday, 974 millibar low, still raining across the I-95 corridor. Much of New England seeing some rain here. And notice it's all rain, folks. The snow line is well up to the north, across Ontario and Quebec, Canada, where it has remained all December long for the most part. We do have some cold air coming down on the backside. Wouldn't be surprised to see some snow showers and snow flurries across the Ohio Valley, but the moisture is well to the east, so this will be just lingering moisture, so not much of accumulation will come from this. And then as we go into Monday night, the system will start to wrap up for the United States and be pushing up toward eastern Canada. Overall, between Sunday the 17th and Tuesday the 19th of December, we are gearing up for some very heavy rain across the East Coast from Florida to Maine. You pick your spot on the map here. We could be seeing widespread 1 to 3 inches worth of rain. The heaviest of accumulating rain will be across northern Florida, coastal Georgia, up through the eastern Carolinas, and perhaps coastal Virginia there with the track of that low pressure system. And that's why we are concerned about a flash flood risk. The Weather Prediction Center is already posting this 3 days ahead of time and saying, hey, we need to keep an eye on the flash flood risk Saturday into Sunday here. Slight risk across southern Georgia through most of Florida there. And then as we go from Sunday into Monday, large slight risk, including Virginia, parts of Maryland, down into the Carolinas there and eastern Georgia. Would not be surprised to see the Weather Prediction Center upgrading a small portion of the Carolinas or Virginia into that moderate risk category as we do get closer with some of these rainfall totals. But right now, just looking at a slight risk, so scattered flash floods will be possible, mainly localized, but the most vulnerable areas will be across those city areas where we have a lot of drainage, but we have a lot of concrete and asphalt, so that water can't really just get soaked up into the ground if it was for, say, grass or anything like that. So isolated significant floods will be possible. We will be keeping an eye on it. But notice, like I mentioned before, the snowfall accumulations won't be significant in the United States with this system. There is some cold air that comes in on the backside, but it will be just too late at that point, probably seeing a dusting up to an inch at worst case scenario for this across the Ohio Valley. Much more there into the Appalachians, maybe a couple more inches than that. But the main story from the system will just be the very heavy rainfall. And then behind this storm, we just reset the weather pattern again. So going toward Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and really rounding out the month of December, we're back well above normal across the United States. The only area where near normal temperatures will be observed is south central Florida down here where you see the white. So definitely seeing a lot of warm air for late December standards. And check out these high temperatures potentially for Christmas Eve. Look at this, folks. It does not get much better than this in late December. I'll tell you that right now. Looking at the 50s up here, all the way perhaps to the north toward Des Moines, maybe Chicago on Christmas Eve, 60s further to the south there across the southern plains in the southern United States. Christmas Day, potentially your high temperatures here. We could be seeing close to 50 there, folks, in Chicago. Close to 50 there in Detroit, 50 there perhaps into Indianapolis, mid 50s in Nashville. That is just almost unheard of as we go into Christmas Day. So a very big warm up coming for late December. And looking at these temperature anomalies for Christmas Day, 25 degrees above normal in the Illinois Valley is just astonishing. So definitely take part in that. If you do have any plans on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, get outdoors and have some fun outdoors. If you don't have any snow on the ground, throw the football around, do something fun outdoors. Lots of great weather coming for Christmas, that is for sure. But looking at this as well, we do have some wet weather to talk about in the transition. Of course, when you talk about warmer weather, we have to talk about major storm systems and possibly severe weather moving ahead across the southern United States, and that we will keep an eye on. Looking very wet for portions of the Sacramento Valley into Southern California as well. San Diego, Los Angeles, wetter than normal. Over here toward Phoenix, into New Mexico, and then the Rio Grande Valley in West Texas also very wet for the late December period. Very dry, though, to the north. So if you live in Montana or the Dakotas or the upper Great Lakes or most of interior New England, it's going to be pretty dry for late December. Not much in the way of precipitation. Here is your Christmas Day snow depths in inches, and you can see anybody really dreaming of a white Christmas at this point, you have to go across the Rockies and those higher elevations or way up to the north into Canada to find any snow worth mentioning on the ground for Christmas Day. Otherwise, we're going to see not much of a white Christmas, a green or a brown Christmas, as you call it, across the eastern 2/3 of the United States come Christmas Day. Looking at our jet stream for late December standards, that subtropical jet will be working overtime across the southern United States, pumping in that eastern Pacific moisture across the country there, particularly for the southern half of the United States. And looking at our next major couple of storm systems before we get done with December, we could be seeing another wet system move across for the Christmas week and into the last few days of December there. So we have this system this early next week bringing several inches of rain. We could be doing it all over again as we go toward Christmas week. And of course, we got to be watching out for severe weather, especially with temperatures well above normal in December. We really need to keep an eye on that across the deep south. That will be some good news, though, as we do see some heavy rain. The good news here is that the drought will become a lot more improved across the southern United States as we go later into December. We have severe, extreme, and exceptional drought widespread across the south central U.S. This will become greatly improved as we get toward the end of the year. So that will be some good news. Make sure to subscribe to the channel down below for detailed weather breakdowns across North America. Help me get to 75,000 subscribers. I do greatly appreciate each and every one of my subscribers. I am here for you each and every day on this channel. If you have any questions, make sure you ask them down below in the comment section. Like the video down below if you did like today's weather forecast, and I hope everybody has a great rest of their Friday out there.